to read about the basics of Swifts. Firstly, you know about the Swift Doc. It's a Swift Doc website. You can read everything from here. Firstly, we are reading about constant and variable. As the name suggests, constant are the constant when they will be declared once, we can't change their values. But in case of variables, we can change the values of variables. Like there is a playground in which we can play from with Swift. You can learn Swift here. So firstly, like how we create a constant. So to creating constant, firstly we tag a keyword, write a keyword let this will call let declaration. So we are declaring the name of the variable or constant. So in case of let, we are creating the constant, the name of the constant, something like str equal to the value. So it's the value can be string, integer, or any other. So firstly, we are using with string. So as we know, to write a string, we are using quotation, double quote, the value between the string, like a name, Harsh. Now printing the value of str, print str. Now we run the code. To run the code, just click on it, and you can see there will be running the lesson. Like it print the name Harsh. Now if we want to change the value of str, so we try to change the value. Str equal to Sumit, and we try to run it. So you can see the compiler gives some error, and what it telling is cannot assign the value of str is a let constant. Means we can't change the value because it's a constant. And secondly, he tell change let to where to make it mutable. If you want to mutate it, if you want to change the value, then you need to make it where. So where is the variable to declare a variable. Now we are going from start to declare a variable. It's same like constant, just keyword are changed. For constant we are using let as a keyword. For variable we are using where as a keyword. You can see where declaration, where the name, something called str again, name of the variable, and the value of variable. So now we are again using the string as a variable value. So again we printing the value. So you can see it's print hash. Now we change the value and print again. Print again, again. So you can see, firstly, str is a value as a Harsh, so it print the Harsh. Now str is a value as Sumit, so it's print the Sumit, and we are writing some constant here like again, so it will also print this. So basically, as we read from document, constant and variable must be declared before they are used. Yeah, we need to declare it before use. Like if we are not declaring this and we try to compile it, then it will give because it did not have anything named like str. So it tell used of unresolved identifier str. Now if we provide the variable here, it will run fine. You declare a constant with the let keyword and variable with the where keyword. As we also know about this. Here's the example. Now, next thing is type annotation. In first case, we just declaring variable, their variable name and their value. So it will be classified by the variable which type of it have. Like currently it have a string. Now if we change it to int, integer value. So it have int. You can see. So basically it's no by itself what it have, what type of data it have. But if we need to tell the compiler what type of data we need to save in the variable or we need to store in the variable. So if we want to tell, we using the type annotation. To declare with type annotation, we just need to use a colon and the type like string. So now where is the string type? If we want to provide the value of a string, so we can provide here str Harsh. Also we can provide here Sumit. So like previous we read, it's a where we tell him it's a variable. Now the name of the variable, the type of the variable, and the initial value of the variable. Because it is a variable, we can change the value. So here we can change the value. If it's a constant, in case of constant, we write let as a keyword, tell it's a constant, the name of the constant, the type of the constant, and the initial value of the constant. But constant is a constant, so its initial value and final value is the same. So we can't change the value, so it will compiler give us an error. So now it's working fine. So you can read here. You can provide a type annotation when you declare a constant or a variable. You can provide in both case constant and variable. To be clear about the kind of value the constant of or variable can store, like which type of data they can store. So we can tell the compiler about the for variable and constant. Write a type annotation by placing a colon after the constant or variable name, followed by the space, followed by the name of type to use. Like we are welcome message colon and the type. Now the naming conventions of variable and constant. To provide the name, there will be some rule. First, I am writing here the rules. First rule, name of variable only can contain alphabets number and underscore. Second, it can be start only with alphabets and underscore. So what is the meaning of this? Like if we want to create declare a constant, so to declare a constant we need to use the let keyword. So we're just using the let. And now the name. So to writing a name we need to use the naming convention. So what are the rule? Firstly, we can only use alphabet and underscore. Like if we want to use the first letter as a digit and then write a name of the variable like type. We provide the type notation string. So it will give some error. T is not a valid integer literal because then it will think it's a literal. It's not a name of variable. If we remove this and then it's working fine. But we can provide the name number in the last like type 9. We can't start with digit but we can give the value or the digit value in between the name or in the last of the name. If we want to use some special character like then it will give some error because it did not know about him. But if we want to use underscore then it will be working fine. So also we can name it with start with underscore type. It's properly working fine. So it's naming convention just have two rules. First rule, the name only can contain alphabets. Alphabets matlab A, B, C, D, E, F or any other language alphabets. And numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 and underscore. And it only can start with alphabet and underscore. So here we go. Content variable name can contain almost any character including Unicode character. Constant variable name can't contain white space characters, mathematical symbols, arrows, private use, Unicode scalar values, line and box drawing characters. Nor can they begin with a number, although number may be including somewhere else within the name. Once you have declared a constant variable of certain type, you can't change the declaration it again. Yeah. Like if we create the type with a string and provide the value something called something something. But now we want to change the value. But let's give error because it's a let. We can't mutate let values. So firstly we declare it where now it's working fine. But if we want to provide the value as an integer here, it again gives some error because type can be only decided once. We can't change the type of data again and again. So firstly we created with a string. Now we want to change it as an integer. It can't work. Like it give cannot assign value of type int to type string because our variable is type string and we want to assign the value as an int. If we are thinking about printing the constant and variable, we did not did not need a much work. Just you need to call the print function with, like you can see here, if we are writing print, you, we can provide the items. So item are the variable names or string literal or number literal anything. So if we want to print only str, we can use the str as we printing before. If we want to print all these variables, we can just provide the comma between them and we can print it. It can take multiple values. Yeah, this is the error because we can't use any variable before initialization. So we just initialize it with this. So first str is a Sumit, type line as an something, and type as a anything. Comments. If you want to write some comments on your code, like if you want to if you want to tell about something about the function, about the variable, you can use the double slash to comment it. When the compiler runs, it don't consider comment in code. It just consider the lines which are not commented. So compiler firstly compile this line, then skip those two line, then third line, fourth line compile, fifth line compile, and sixth line compile. So result you can see here. It will run in first line compiler, then in second line, in third line, but we are not initializing any value. It did not have any value here. We are initializing the value here, so it's heavy here. Now we are printing the values, so compiler like same, but it skip these comments. If we are just want a single line comment, so we are using double slash. But if we want multiple line comments, so we need to just mention slash star and multiple lines, anything. Compiler can't consider these things. It skip all. You can see. If we print here anything, it compile. But if we commented this print, it can't compile this again. You can see it skip this. Semicolon. What is the use of semicolon? We can use the semicolon in the last of any variable declaration in any line. It's like a separator of line. So we can use two separators. First one the enter, like we have two line here. If we want to merge them, we are using separator as a enter, or we can use a separator as a semicolon. No, this work fine. But if we did not use semicolon and we just want to run this, it gives some error because we are not using any separator. So conjugative statements on a line must be separated by semicolon. What are the basic data type Swift have? Yeah, Swift have integers. Integers means the numbers, any number. It can be zero. It's positive number. It's negative number. So to declare an integer, we use int, do int, unsigned integers. Unsigned integer only have the positive numbers, not can be negative. Now we have floating type numbers, floating which have the decimal and the decimal value. It's again, it can be anything 1.1, 1.0, 1.2, and 3.4 and minus 3.4, any positive, negative decimal numbers. It also have a string, it have a bool, so we are just using all these things here. We remove this code. Now firstly we declare a string, comment string. So we have a string, so we can declare any variable with a string. Let str string, the type annotation and the initial value. Initial value. We have integer. Let number, type int, and any value. We have a uint, unsigned integer. Let unsigned uint. Now we can't assign the signed integer to here. If we run this, because because it's unsigned, so it can't be signed. It's only can positive numbers, but number can be a negative value, integer or any other number. We have float. Right, decimal, number type float. We can provide any float value. We have double. Double is like a float, but difference is the range. Double have high range from the float. This can be any big value. Small or big, anyone. Now a bool. Bool is just telling about the true false boolean value. Let bool name can be anything. It's not depend upon type. Declare we are bool. If we are using bool, it can be true and false. So these are some basic data type, or we have lots of more. We are using all these in the next lecture or next time. Like now, next is type safety and type inference. Basically, if we did not provide any type annotation to any value, like we remove it, it will be declared by itself. Like it, no, I have the only bool value here, so it's know about the true is a bool value, and it can only contain the bool value. If we want to change it to string, it gives a error because it's know only about bool. Firstly, it gives the error of let, but now it's only gives the error of type safety. So it's called the type safety. We can't change the type once we provide it. And because it know about the type before without any type of annotation, so it this is called type enhance inference. Now literals. Literal are the static values, like this is the string literal initial value in double quotes. This is the integer literal. This is the float or double literal, and this is the bool literal. Bool literal only get true and false. So literal numeric literal numeric values, yeah, bools. These are basics. Now we are going to move on the data types. There are three type of data and basically two type of data. Firstly, reference type like classes. Secondly, value type like structure and enum. So how to what are difference and how to declare? So firstly we go with structure and enum with the value types. So enum, what is the enum? Enum just the collection of same type of data type. Like if we want to create a day type enum, it can be the days. So it can be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So for declaring enum, we are using keyword as enum, the name of enum, like days, and the cases, the values of enum. So cases is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and last Saturday. Now we use the day enum. So firstly we declare a variable where the name today, the type annotation, the days type. Before this, we are just using the primitive types, integer, float, string. Now we are declaring our own type. So the value, like today is the Wednesday or Thursday. Now if we want to print it, now we are printing and you can see the value thirst. So enum is the basic data type. We can create the same values within our structure. So like we have days. Now we again want to create any other enum. Something called color or primary color. So we have three case. We can create here case 1, red, case 2, green, case 3, blue, case 2 it's yellow. So it is the same if we are declaring multiple case with multiple line, or we can create in single line using comma as a separator. So both are the same. Now we declaring a variable where color primary color type, and this value is dot red. Now if we printing it, you can see it's print the red. So it's a enum. Now we are going with the structure. A structure can contain the multiple variables or constant within it, but as we know these are value type. So these contain the value in some memory, and if we copy one value in another, then it shall just create a new variable. So like we can check in the case of enum, if we create another variable called where color 2 and provided value from color, now printing color 2, color and color 2. So now both are same, but if we want to change the value of color 2 as a yellow, and now printing again, it's a red and yellow. So only value is changed because it's a value type. We read about the reference type, same case in reference type class. Now we are using struct. Struct is a it can be multiple type of values within the same container. So like we have user type struct. The user can have some ID which can be int. So we can declare it can't contain it did not have any case. It can be anything. So we can create a variable ID type int. User can have a name string. There have address string. Now if we creating the variable with type of struct user, so user we can just create an colon value type and provide the values. So id is 1, name is Harsh, and address is something called Delhi, India. Now we can, if we want to print these values, we can use just user colon id, user colon name, user colon address. So you can see one Earth Delhi, India. So basically, structure can structure is a container which can multiple type of data, multiple values. If we are not defining structure, we can say these things like a user ID, username, and address. So it will be three values which have in one container. So it can more than three more and many values. If we case same like we are copy where user two equal to user, and we are printing the name only of both. So user dot name, comma user dot user two dot name. So that's same, but now we want to change the name of user two. So like we can initialize value with constructor, along with we can provide this value within the dot variable name called str or Sumit. Now we print it. So you can see the value of Sumit is changed. Now if we're talking about classes, classes same like a structure. It can have a it is a container with multiple values. So we can create a user with class same. We remove it. Now we create a class user. Firstly, we create a class user which have same ID. Now to create a class, we have using the keyword class. Now there will be difference. It did not have any initializer. Initializer basically in case of a structure, it will provide us a default initializer. But in case of class, we need to provide the initializer. So if we providing writing an initializer, we can use init, provide the initializing value like id, in type, name, string type, address, string type. Now assigning the values to calling the value of the same object. We are using the self.id is equal to id, self.name equal to name, self.equal to address. Now we're just printing these values. So same like past, it will be print the id, name and address. Now we copy in user 2, we print in user 2 and we check it. Now both are same. Now we change the value of the name in user 2. So you can check. In this case, both value are changed because it's a reference type. When we copy one data to another, it can't create another value. It just refer the same value. So if we think about memory graph, how it will be work, we can make like a thing. Or we can use here with the comment. So think like that. Think like that. We have a container. We have a container. We have a container. So in case of class, when we create a variable, it create a container. It store the values. Like we have three values here: ID, name, and address. So this container have three values. So we can make till big. So it have three values: ID, name, address. Now if we provide the value of ID as 1, H, Harsh, or as Delhi. Now we miss the India here. No. So like we have this type. We are just making it looking attractive. Now this is the container. When we create a user variable in a class type, it just create a container. It will provide the value and create a reference. Refer it to user variable. So user variable know the address of this container, and when we want to receive a print value or any other call, it will go to the container because he know the address, and he go to container, uh, extract the value from the container and show it the user. If we copy this variable to user 2, it will not create a new container. It's just refer it in user 2. So now both have the same value. But if we change this value Harsh to Sumit, so because the container is same for both reference, the value is changed for both. This will happen here. But in case of value types, like we are calling them as a reference type due to this because we are just referring the same value, same container. But in case of value type, it's the same like when we creating a structure. Struct can also can have an initializer. So we change the type of user person. Now person have same name fields. और हम करते हैं इसको P1, now P1, 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 P2, P2, P2. So now we have a structure of like type person. It's have mostly same thing. Its name are different. It have ID, name, address. It have initializer to initialize the values. It initialize creating first value with the same like person. Then printing the value. Then create a copy of P1 as a P2. Then printing the name only. Then change the name. In this case, the value are different. Like if we run this code, uh, what is the difference here? So sometime we just remove this and just run it. You can see in first case for differentiating it, we just printing the line here print, so it will be more clear for us. Struct. So this will be struct dividing the class type and structure type. So in class type, we are creating the variable one hash daily, then printing the name hash, then changing value. The both value can change because it's a reference type. Now, in second case, we are creating a person like a hash. It has same name and address. We are removing India from here too. Now we printing the name. It's print. It's print the name. Now we change the name of person two is a Sumit. So it just only change the name of person two as Sumit. No, but hers is remain same. Now we know we think about the what is how it work. Like we understand how work in the case of reference. We just create a container and refer it with one variable. When we copy it, will create another reference. But in case of value type, it it did not create a reference. It just create a value refer it to one variable. But if we create a copy, it create a copy of whole container. So it will create a whole container. So this is the P1 person 1 and this is the P2. So it will create a copy of the whole value, not just a reference, and assign it to this. So firstly we have Harsh. If we copy it, it also have Harsh. So because it's a different tool. If we change the value of Harsh to Sumit, it only change here, not in case of here. The difference is the class type and value type is only the copy difference in copy. In value type, we also have tuples. So like we read about the structure, we read about enum. Now we are going with tuple. Tuple is also like a container which have multiple type of data. Now, in case of structure class, we need to tell the compiler which type of data it will contain. Like person have ID, name, and address. Now we did not need to tell before. We just creating like where p1 person, and we just provide the value here. Like it have person have ID 1, it have name Harsh, and it have address. Now print p1 dot id comma p1 dot name comma p1 dot address. Now we create a copy because it's a value type, so it's work same like a structure. We create a copy p2, then the value is a p1. Now print p1 dot name comma p2 dot name. Now we change value of p2. Name of p2 is Sumit. Now we print again. So we copy it. I just paste it, and we can see only second value is changed, not first one. If we do not provide any identifier here, like we just provide tuple with value, it can be also good, but because we do not name as an identifier, so we can't use it. So we are using this index 0, 1, 2, and it working fine and with same values. Now going the optional. What is optional and what is nil? We also have optional type, data type. So basically optional, what will tell, uh, mandate optionals. The value which contain nil value. And what is nil? Basically, nil is nothing. We do not have any value, so then it's called nil. Like we are creating a string variable where str string. It's a string type, but it did not have any value initial or anything. Now, if we try to print it, it gives us an error. We can't print any value before initializing because it did not have any value or it's not a optional type. If we want it to optional, to make it optional, we just need to mark it with question mark, and now we print it. So it have a nil value. It have nothing. Same, but nothing means nil. So if it have any value, like something called Ram. Now we print it. So it have optional value Ram because the optional type. So it have value, but we call it a optional. To unwrap this optional and to extract the value from the optional, we use exclamation mark. It's called implicitly unwrapping value. So it print the RAM. Along with we can provide a default value. Default value is the value. If it will not contain the value, it will print the default value. So like we can provide here default. So if it contain the value, it print the value. Like in case of RAM, it will print RAM. But if it did not have any value, then it print default value in case of nil. Or also we also assign nil as a value. But in this case, it also print only default value. So then this is the optional type, and now we continue with next class. Thank you guys.